I'm Susan Webster, and I live in Deer Isle, Maine, and I'm a visual artist.
I'm Stuart Kestenbaum. I also live in Deer Isle, Maine, in the same house that Susan lives in. We're married. And I'm a writer.
As we work collaboratively together, is that one informs the other.
We like the way it worked because seeing a visual image helps me write something that I would never have thought of, and then that also has an influence on you.
I do some imagery, do the print, do the drawing, and you, Stu, puts the word on, it comes back to me, and then I'm going to respond again because that's another layer. We're never in the same place together when we collaborate. So I would make the piece in my studio and leave it for Stu. And in the morning, Stu would come in and with rubber stamps, that's how you were working then, would respond to the work. I had read one of the things they had written that morning, and I was so moved by the words that it pushed me in a different direction.
Some of the work that Susan makes lately, they've been really like large pieces, like as big as my arm span, that start with a gelatin plate print in the center and a drawing, and then I have rubber stamps and I'm looking at this, and this is work that's taken this is like serious, and I get a rubber stamp and they're like, some are old. I try to do it almost so it looks like a ransom note, different size fonts and things.
You are allowed to take that piece of paper or that little piece of print and glue it right on there. Or when Stu does words sometimes, he does letters and cut out the letters and we glue it on and people go up and look at it and they say, "You can do that?" I say, yes, you may do that.
We trust each other.
That's true.
That what we're going to do is going to work, that we're not illustrating the words or the words aren't describing the thing. It's that together they make something else. And that's, in a way, what we're trying to get at with the workshop.
With the workshop here.
We're teaching a workshop called Word and Image, where Susan as a visual artist handles that part, I as a writer handle the word part, Susan handles the image part. And we're looking for ways to combine those two that'll help people make discoveries about their work. That the workshop itself is a creative activity, that we're learning, we know what we're doing, but we're learning based on what, you can't force a thing into being, as like Robert Frost says about a poem, that you can't force a poem into being, and that once it gets started, you have to follow it. He says, like ice on a hot stove, it should be allowed to ride on its own melting. That I think a workshop could be like that too. You're there, but you're also seeing like this group that's here is different than the group the last time we were here, and they're all it's not like one's not better than the other. Each one is the workshop it is, and what it needs to be for the people who are there when it's happening. And I think thinking about craft schools and education at places like Arrowmont is, you have the studios the best you can get them, and definitely all the studios have gotten better everywhere, so people can do state-of-the-art work, but there's still a moment where it's really like, you're here for a certain amount of time, how are you going to get it done? And it's like, to me, the most exhilarating thing is that spirit of improvisation, like, not, if only I had this and this, then we could do that. You just say, well, here's what we got, what can you make with what you have?